Please help me welcome Daniel Matthews.
This thing going.
When's the last time your imagination ran wild, making you fear the worst? Mine was just the other day. I was upstairs in my office, and I looked out the window, and there was a car at the corner, and a guy was slumped over the steering wheel. I panicked. I ran down the hallway. I took the stairs 2 at a time, jumped over my dog Keela, threw the door open, and ran across the street. But for you parents in the room, not before looking both ways. I get to the car, and sure enough, the guy slumped over the steering wheel. I jerk open the door, and he goes, "What are you doing, man? You almost gave me a heart attack." I said, "Right back at you, buddy. I saw you slumped over and thought you were dead." I said, "No, I'm just trying to unplug this blasted horn." Now that story takes me about 90 seconds to tell. What I want you to do is to answer these 5 questions just in little groups of 2 and 3 where you sit. The first question is, who are the characters in this story? What lessons might you learn? What's the actual problem? What's the antidote to that problem? And how might your behavior or my behavior shift as a result of that situation? I'll give you 90 seconds. Turn to your neighbors and discuss those and answer those questions. Okay, clap twice if you can hear me. Awesome, thank you. First question, who are the characters in this story? Me, the guy, and what? The dog.
And the wife.
Okay. So there's me, the guy slumped over the steering wheel, and my dog. Was there another character or characters?
Car.
In my story? The car? Well, I guess the car could be a character. The horn.
The audience.
Audience? Well, specifically, the parents, right?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? I said for those who voted for the parents. So they became a character in my story. I incorporated you into that. What about lessons? What kind of lessons can you learn from this?
Look both ways. No problem.
Don't don't jump. What else?
Look both ways.
Look both ways. What else could you use this story for? What other lessons? Yes?
Things aren't always as they seem.
Okay, awesome. I'll tell you why that's awesome here in a minute. What else?
Just make assumptions.
Don't make assumptions. Okay. Good. It's not always as bad as it seems. At least that's how I use it when I tell it, when I do my workshop on overcoming fear. What about the problem? What was the problem? The noise, yeah.
Potentially dead guy.
Potentially the dead guy. And initially I was annoyed because I was in my office trying to work and here's this horn going crazy.
Can we look at the problem from the point of view of the driver also?
You can. The reason I would look at it from my perspective is because when you tell the story, you're telling the story what your problem is and how that helps you learn a lesson in life.
Okay.
And for that guy, maybe he just needs to buy a different kind of car. I don't know. So for me, the car horn and the guy slumped over. That was the problem for me. Initially, the car horn because it was annoying, and then a more serious problem once I looked out the window and saw that he was slumped over. The antidote, or the cure in this case, was that he jumped out of the seat, and I found out he wasn't dead. And that's when I realized that things aren't always as bad as they seem. And for me, the shift in behavior is don't panic or pause before you panic. Take some time to evaluate the situation. And so this is how I use the story when I talk about fear. Now, everyone do me a favor and stand up and give me your meanest face. This is my granddaughter's meanest face. Give me the mean face. And then I want you to point right at me, because this is the only time you're allowed to point. And say, so what, Dan? So what, Dan? Who cares? Who cares? What's in it for me? What's in it for me? Don't you know? Don't you know? It's all about me. It's all about me. Turn to your neighbor, give him a high five, and say it's all about me. She's really a lot cuter than that in real life.
We can see the family resemblance.
So my promise to you, or what's in it for you today, is that you are going to get 2 storytelling frameworks that I'm going to share with you here in just a moment. You're also going to get 2 storytelling flows that I use when I tell a story. And then you're going to learn 3 storytelling keys. In addition to that, there is some bonus material that you'll be able to pick up online, and at the end of this session, I will show you where you can get that.